Hey everybody, it's me here, Mr. Truth, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a brief evaluation and scattering report of University of Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. Now, Jalen Milroe, the past couple of months, has received a bit of hype for the NFL draft because this is a pretty weak year for quarterbacks when it comes to this draft class. Let's be real. There's really not like any elite quarterback prospect coming out of the draft unless you consider Cameron Ward an elite quarterback prospect, which is debatable at best. But nonetheless, he's received a bit of buzz and hype from not only the scouting community, but also from the media. A lot of people in the media have him as a first-round ranked and graded talent, which to me, as you're going to see in this video, makes fucking no sense whatsoever. Sorry to swear so early in the video, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me, and it never will, because this is just not a guy you would ever think of selecting in the first round. And I'm here to sort of kill and squander any sort of hype that Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe may have right now. So let's get into the key upsides of Milroe's game at quarterback. Let's get straight into it, man. Now, Jalen Milroe's 6'2", 225-pound frame is basically the prototypical weight and size that most teams covet in a quarterback prospect. Now, Milroe has above average arm strength, and he can really zip the football when needed to, especially over the middle of the field. Milroe is an absolutely explosive athlete. Milroe will easily beat you with his running ability. And well, if a team is playing the running back on like read options or zone reads or playing the pass too heavily, you're going to get smoked by Jalen Milroe on the ground. That's how dynamic and explosive an athlete he is. He really is great. When he gets into that second level, into the open space, he is really, really hard to catch. The highlights do not lie. The film does not lie about Milroe's running ability. He is absolutely electric and basically otherworldly when it comes to running the football. And man, that's actually dead ass it. The only upsides that I have is that he has a good frame, he has a strong arm, and he's a very good explosive athlete. That's it. That's like the only thing I could sort of conjure up in my mind positively about Jalen Milroe, because what I watched on film was horrifying, and it should horrify you. Let's get into the key downsides of Jalen Milroe's game at quarterback. Now, Jalen Milroe, folks, this man is a classic one read and run quarterback. Milroe cannot, and I repeat this, cannot process both sides of the field, and he has absolutely zero ability to throw with any sort of timing or anticipation whatsoever. He misses so many open guys. It's like he's not even looking at anything. I mean, what is the guy looking at? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. And I could not believe how comically bad that Jalen Milroe's accuracy was when I was watching him on film against some of the better teams he went up against. Even, when you're looking at the Georgia game, or you're looking at the LSU game, some of the better performances Milroe put up. Oh my God, those are two, good teams with NFL talents, on defense. That is a good point that people are making, that, he played well against, teams that have NFL caliber defenses that you would see in the NFL. But at the end of the day, that can literally just be counted out as a fluke once you realize this guy threw like 3 interceptions against Oklahoma and, was sucked against Michigan, who didn't in a bowl game, which, I mean, they weren't 100% when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. They were probably, had people in the portal, transfer, or they're playing backups essentially. They weren't playing their actual team that they were playing, like the team they had with Ohio when they were playing Ohio State. Not all those players were playing against Alabama, and still Milroe looked like garbage throwing the ball. It was just really hard to watch. Now, the guy could not hit the broadside of a fucking barn on some of his passes, I gotta be honest with you folks, especially when he's facing heavy pressure. Good luck, because he's gonna drift in the pocket, he's gonna slide in the pocket, not in the good way. He's gonna get jittery feet in the pocket, and it's very clear to me that Milroe has absolutely no feel for the game when he's playing, and he frequently drops his eyes when he gets out of the pocket, breaks contain, escapes the pocket in general, and he just straight up never looks like he's going to pass the ball, which is an indicator for the defense that the quarterback's going to take off and run, which you don't want to telegraph running when you're a quarterback, because you become a boring, predictable, stale quarterback, and you're essentially telling the defense, I can't throw, so I have to run. Now, Milroe frequently looks clueless in the pocket, often getting jittery feet, panicking under any sort of pressure, and, I mean, this is just sad. Like, me going over all these downsides, I don't want to list any more. because it's just sickening. It's sad that this guy's receiving any sort of hype because, Jalen Milroe to me is an absolutely not a good, not even a decent, or even a below average quarterback prospect. This guy's absolutely atrocious from within the pocket. He can only make plays with his arm when the situation in the pocket is more than ideal. When he has wide open players, when he has perfect protection, when he has the perfect play dial up, everything going right, that's the only way he can make a play with his arm. I feel like Milroe is the definition of a completely overrated prospect who is only being hyped up because of his good physical tools. Now, my overall grade, I went over my overall grade system in my Shitter Sanders scattering report, so if you haven't seen how the grading system sort of works, you can go back to that video, go near the end of the video, and I sort of explain from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but essentially, 0 through 5. And this is the first quarterback, and maybe one of the only quarterbacks that's ever going to receive this score because of how atrocious he really is at quarterback. His overall grade is 0 out of 5, and the round I would take him in, undrafted. And I would not even bother. Like maybe as a receiver, or as a tight end, or like a safety or something. Some like position that requires skill and athleticism. Just keep him away from throwing the ball, because this guy cannot throw. He can't throw. I mean, the guy can't throw the ball. It's absurd. Especially when it comes to processing, it's mind-bogglingly bad. He can't read more than one side of the field. He can't get past his first read on half his dropbacks. What does that tell you? How do you think that style of play is going to work in the National Football League? Spoiler alert, folks. It's not going to fucking work at all. It will not have a good ending in the NFL. Let's just say that. Now, my NFL comparison, shit, man. Like, this is Achilles Smith mixed with Heath Shuler. That's who he reminds me of. He is Achilles Smith. Achilles Smith could not throw. He was a decent athlete coming out of college, out of Oregon. He had some passing touchdowns, and people thought, oh, maybe we can develop his passing skills. He can't throw. He couldn't throw. Achilles Smith is one of the worst quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. Heath Shuler was athletic, but also couldn't throw and couldn't read a coverage. So, that wasn't ever going to work out. So he reminds me of Achilles Smith mixed with Heath Shuler. And this is a guy who is just a classic, like a Terrell Pryor or like a Logan Thomas. Or I think, what's that guy named from Buffalo? Tyree Jackson, I believe. I don't fucking know. The guy like that was that you would like sign as a free agent in Madden 20 all the time, and like as like the developmental prospect fucking quarterback, and use him down the line. But regardless, man, this is a guy who is, I'm sorry to tell you the truth, and I'm sorry to say this, it sounds really harsh. This guy's a scrub. Like, he is really fucking bad at playing quarterback. And a position change is definitely in this guy's future. If he declares for the draft, there's just no fucking way that any team is going to bother even like thinking of picking him, because if you're a GM or a scout and you say, hey, that Milroe kid, man, he fucking lit up the world this year, we should pick this kid in the first 3 rounds, they would fire you immediately on the spot. And I know that, there's probably going to be one or two moronic teams that actually believe they can get something out of this guy. But you're not. The only thing that you're going to get out of him is disappointment. The only thing you're going to get out of him is pain and anguish. Because he's going to be making you fucking so upset that you ever thought about picking him, if you were a general manager, because he's just going to let the team down. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to fumble. I mean, he's got horrible ball security. He's got a decent arm. He's a great runner, explosive in space, but that's about it. That's all the fucking good things about Jalen Milroe, is he can run fast and throw far. And I'm done with quarterbacks like that. I'm done. I honestly believe in Anthony Richardson. I don't believe in Jalen Milroe. Because Richardson, for me, has changed my perspective on project quarterbacks like this. This guy is, just a classic example of a guy who just has no skills that translate to the NFL. I'm done with this video. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.